Okay, extra info for key terms 2.1. So first of all, I highly recommend that you guys watch the crash course that I had you guys watch when I was out. Crash course called The Chemical Mind, which really goes into great detail about all of these key terms, and much of what I'm going to say here will be repeated on that crash course, so I highly recommend that you watch that. So also keep in mind, I'm not going to give you 3 bullet points for these since you guys have a lecture, you did reading notes, and we worked in class a lot on these. So I'm going to be fairly brief, and I will be looking for your extra info that you've added from the things we've done in class. So a neuron. A neuron is a nerve cell. It's the basic building block. So essentially we have neurons all throughout our body, and this is how we communicate through our body. This is how neurotransmitters are sent from neuron to neuron. And as I explained last class in the brain lecture and neurons, is we want to build those neurons. More neurons means faster communication. It essentially means that we are, quote, smarter, okay? So that's neuron. Dendrite, this is the branches that extend out. This is the way in which they essentially grab the neurotransmitters. And so again, we want these to be strong. We don't want them to prune off. And as you learned, we are able to grow our dendrites. And this is what conducts our neurotransmitters from neuron to neuron. Good thing to put in your extra info here is ways to remember what that dendrite is. You could also, of course, draw a diagram. Okay, axon. Ooh, okay. Axon is the long, slender projection of a nerve cell. Okay, so remember how you built the axon when you did your candy neurons. You can put that down on your paper for extra info. This conducts the electrical impulses. At the other end of the axon are, of course, the dendrites. These come off of the cell body. Synapse. So synapse are really, really, really tiny gaps, okay, between the axon terminals from one neuron to another. The neurotransmitters will jump across the synapse. So think of it as like, you're jumping from one rock to another rock. But obviously much, much tinier than that. So a good thing to put here, again, is a diagram or a way to remember or something that you used in your candy neuron to show the synapse. Neurotransmitter. Now neurotransmitters, these are very important, okay? These are basically the way that our neurons fire, okay? So a chemical messenger that travels across, so essentially it shoots across from one neuron to the next, and it is either going to make it shoot to the next neuron or it will inhibit it. So it influences whether or not a neuron will generate that action potential to make it go to the next neurotransmitter. So remember, there are tons of different neurotransmitters. Luckily for this class, you don't need to know all of them, but you do need to know the neurotransmitters that are in the 2.1 lecture. I'm not going to review them right now because you have them all right there, but it would be a great idea to list the neurotransmitters that are in that lecture and make sure that you know what those are as your extra info for neurotransmitter here. Okay, thank you.